5 types of people you should stop being friend with. Once upon a time in a small village, in a remote part of the country, there lived a wise and respected Buddhist monk named Ananda. He was known all over the village for his deep knowledge about the charm and had the ability to guide others on the path of enlightenment. Ananda had spent many years in traveling across the land, teaching and spreading the teachings of Buddha. He had encountered many types of people on his journey and have learned valuable life lessons from each encounter. One day, when Ananda was resting under a large boddhi tree, a young man named Mark approached him. Mark had heard a lot of things about the deep and profound knowledge of Ananda, so he decided to pay a visit to Ananda to get solutions of his problems he was facing in his life. Mark was very much worried about his life and true people. He was not able to find peace and happiness with the people with whom he was spending his valuable time. So he was determined to learn something that could change his life from that Buddhist monk and can seek his guide on the path to true happiness and contentment. Ananda welcomed Mark with a warm smile and invited him to sit down near him. After reaching, Mark told everything about the people who didn't value him and always think him a piece of trash. Mark asked Ananda to tell him the way with the aid of which he could identify the true and real people. To mitigate the inner pain of Mark, Ananda started to tell him a story about which 5 types of people he has to avoid and never to befriend with in order to find peace and joy of life. Once there was a young man named Paul lived in a bustling city. Paul had many friends and he used to enjoy every second of his life with them. He enjoyed spending time with them, engaging in various activities. However, as the time passed by, he started to notice that some of his friends were influencing him in a negative ways. The first type of person that Paul realized he needed to distance himself from was the gossipers. This friend would always engage in idle talk, spreading rumors and creating negativity. Paul found that whenever he spent time with this person, his mind became cluttered with many unnecessary and harmful thoughts. So he made a conscious and wise decision to avoid this friend and started focusing on cultivating positive relationship. This second type of person Paul decided to avoid was the critics. This friend had always something negative to say about others, constantly finding faults and criticizing his actions. Very soon, Paul realized that this constant negativity was affecting his own outlook in real life. He understood the importance of surrounding himself with people uplifted and inspired him rather than dragging him down with constant criticism. The third type of person Paul chose to distance himself from was the manipulator. This friend had a way of twisting situations to serve their own interests. Often at the expense of others. Paul noticed that whenever he spent time with his friend, he would feel drained and used. To recognizing the toxic nature of this friendship, he decided to let go and prioritize his own well-being. The fourth type of person Paul realized he needed to let go was the envious. This friend would always compare himself with others, constantly feeling inadequate and resentful of their success. Paul understood that true happiness comes from appreciating and celebrating the achievements of others. He knew that by surrounding himself with people who supported and encouraged him, he would foster a sense of contentment and gratitude. Finally, the fifth person Paul realized to get rid of was the doubters. This friend would always doubt Paul's ability in dreams, casting a shadow of uncertainty over his aspirations and ambitions. Paul recognized the importance of having friends who believed in him and his potential. He realized that by surrounding himself with positive and supportive individuals, he could nurture his own self-belief and can achieve good and great things in life. As Ananda finished the story, Paul sat in deep contemplation. He realized the wisdom in the monk's words and understood the importance of choosing friends wisely. He thanked Ananda for his guidance and enlightenment and vowed to reflect on these 5 types of people he should stop being friends with in order to find true happiness and fulfillment in his own life. From that day onwards, Paul embarked on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. He carefully evaluated his friendships, seeking to nurture those that trying positive and inspiration while gradually distancing himself from those that hindered his progress. Over time, Paul found himself surrounded by a circle of friends who shared his values and supported his aspirations. Together they walk on the path of right, helping, uplifting one another along the way, and so the story of Ananda and Paul serves a reminder to all of us. In our own lives, We must be mindful of the types of people we surround ourselves with by letting go of the gossipers, the critics, the manipulators, the envious and the doubters. We create some room for positive influence and cultivate an environment that brings positive and life-changing impact on our lives. May all find the strength to choose our friends wisely and walk on the path of true happiness and enlightenment. As Paul continued his journey of self-discovery, he became more and more attuned to the teachings of Ananda. He realized that true happiness and contentment come not only from choosing the right friends, but also from cultivating positive qualities within himself. May we all strive to be the best version of ourselves, walking on the path of righteousness and spreading love and wisdom wherever we go. Dear friends, I hope you liked this life-changing story and you would have learned a lot from this story. If you have learned anything from this story, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more inspirational videos.